Who else could use a little bit of inspiration? I know I could. Well, if you're like me, you're in luck. Grab your journal, because tonight we're going through 10 prompts to give you a little bit of inspiration on demand. My name's Alex Gallner. This is Journal Party Live.
Party live, let's groove and vibe. Come on now, hands on fire, thoughts taking flight. Oh, together we shine, words intertwine. Get funky, journal party live. It's journaling time.
All right. What's up, party people? Alex Gallner here, back for another exciting edition of Journal Party Live. I missed y'all last week. I was on a little bit of a vacation. We had a family wedding to attend, and I was in Chicago all week. Awesome city, by the way. I think Chicago might be one of my favorite cities, if not my favorite city in the U.S. Um, pretty good stuff, and actually, it inspired this evening's session. I was on the river. They do a little architecture tour, and man, just going through and seeing all the different buildings and hearing really hearing how the city was planned, and also just how much thought was put into it, especially as it pertains to uh, intentionally creating beautiful surroundings to inspire the populace. I just thought that was really cool. Certainly starved for those sorts of surroundings here where I live in Los Angeles. But that said, like I was saying, this is sort of inspired today's session. I just thought that even with the absence of beautiful buildings and a really great city planning, with our journals, we have the ability to take a closer look at our thoughts, and also to change them on demand. And in this case, I thought it would be really nice for us to have a program where we could create a little bit of inspiration on demand. So that's what it's called. It's called Inspiration on Demand. Let me pull up the app here. There we go. All right, cool. So let me check the chat. See y'all in here. And also, forgive me if I'm a little wonky tonight. I think I picked up a little bit of a bug on the airplane or something. My fiance is going to kill me because she wants me to mask up on the airplanes all the time. And I was stubborn about it. And lo and behold, I'm coughing, and I got a little bit of cruddies in the throat. So bear with me. But I wasn't gonna miss Journal Party Live 2 weeks in a row. So we're here, and we're gonna make it happen. All right, we got Siri Cat in the house. Got Darlene here. Awesome. Beverly, thanks for the warm welcome back. Deidre's here. Cool. Thanks for the compliment. I actually didn't get a haircut. I just switched the way that I flip it. I just flipped it to do a different way. But it's kind of like a second haircut. What's up, Kathy? Missed you as well. Missed all you guys. This is like my favorite part of the week. Although I have to say, I did have a blast in Chicago. Yeah, it is a really great place to visit. Got some of that Midwest pollen. Actually, when I was there, I was fine. I was totally fine, no allergies or anything. And then the second we landed in Los Angeles, the air quality was just total garbage, and coughing, wheezing, all that jazz. But we'll get through it. No big deal. I took a COVID test. It's not COVID, so that's good. All right. Well, let's see. We got some people trickling in here. I wouldn't be surprised if we're a little lighter on the attendance this evening because we skipped last week. But hopefully we'll have quorum in a couple minutes here, and then we'll get started. Of course, if you're new, let me know, and I'll give you the rundown of how this all goes. Let's see. Good. I hide it. If you look closely, my nose is all red. I look like Rudolph. All right. Cool. I'm not sure we got any newbies this evening. Felicia, what's up? Are you new? I'm not sure. I can't remember. We skipped a week, and now I can't remember who was on the last one. The colors in your room are very calming. Yeah, so this is my office, and then back there's the studio where I normally do it. But I didn't want to be in a little confined studio this time for this one. So yeah, got the AirPods in, and we're doing it. We're doing it on here. All right, new to the lives, not new to the group. Okay, Felicia, awesome. Well, let me give you the deal. I mean, you may have seen some of the past lives floating around in the group or on YouTube or whatever. But basically, what you're seeing on your screen is the Journal Party guided journaling app or platform, and I'll be streaming that tonight, and that's how we're gonna have the prompts and the program that we're gonna be going through. If you want the app, we do have it available on iOS and Android. You can scan that QR code or just go into the Apple App Store or Google Play and get it there. And we got a ton of free programs. We've also got some premium programs, and that's what we're gonna be going through tonight. And the way this works is unlike other journaling apps, you don't actually type into our app. We're primarily a community of pen and paper journalers. If you want to do this on your iPhone or even voice or whatever, be my guest. There's no wrong way to do this. No crazy rules or anything like that. But yeah, it's primarily meant to be a companion for your regular journal. Your physical journal, I should say. And we're gonna go through this program here, Inspiration on Demand. So we got 10 prompts for you this evening. We're gonna do 3 minutes per prompt. That should be enough. Some of these are a little, I wouldn't say tough, in the sense that like they're not, I don't think they're going to challenge you to go to difficult places this evening. I mean, this one's a little light-hearted because it's all about inspiration. That said, sometimes the perfect response to these prompts just doesn't come, and that's totally okay. Don't fret if the words aren't just immediately flowing for every prompt. One of the things you'll notice is if you've been doing this for a while with us, with the prompts, a lot of times the answers to those prompts come a little bit later in the week, later on another day, later in the evening, whatever it is. So don't worry about it too much. If don't judge yourself too much. I think that's probably a good way to put it. Don't judge this process. I think just creating the space for yourself to think about these things. Put a little bit of awareness with some intention behind it. It can be really powerful, and so our regulars know that, and we're gonna have a good one tonight. I aim not to disappoint. So with that said, it's about 8 after, so I think it's time to get rocking here. I'm gonna hit this start now button. I'll read the prompts and kind of disappear in the background, keep the music going, and at the end we can all share our insights and hang out a little bit. I'll try not to make this one too long because I'm pretty sure I need a little bit of rest. But that said, we'll get through it and we'll do the usual. And I think if you stick around, I'm feeling like we need to do another raffle this evening, another giveaway. It's been a minute. We've had a few go through without a few of these lives go through without doing a nice little giveaway, and we got some cool stuff in the shop. So I'm thinking we're gonna give some stuff away at the end. So all right. With that said, let me stop yapping. I will hit this start now button, and I will count us down. Well, it will count us down, and I'll read the prompt for y'all. All right. Moments of magic. Describe a moment that made you feel truly alive. What made it special? And go ahead and just start writing. All right, here comes your next one. Creative breakthrough. Think of a time when a great idea struck you unexpectedly. How did it change things? All right, next one. Energy sources. What energizes you when you feel stuck? Why does it work? All right. I had fun with that one. I'm excited to hear all your responses for that one. Your next one is unexpected inspiration. Where is the most unusual place you've found inspiration? All right. So, real quick, before we get into this next one, I struggled with that last one. I could not for the life of me think of an unusual place where I've had inspiration strike. But I wouldn't be surprised if I start thinking of those that those answers start percolating for me later. So that's what I'm talking about. In the beginning, like if the perfect answer doesn't hit you, don't worry about it. Just jam to the tunes. The answers will come. Speaking of which, let's keep this thing moving. Vision of success. Picture your ideal version of success. What does it look like? All right, your next one, your daily spark. What is one thing you can do today or tomorrow to fuel your creativity? All right, here comes your next one. Role model wisdom. Who inspires you the most? What about them makes you feel motivated? All right, we're getting through it. Future dreaming. What's a future goal that excites you? How will it impact your life? Next one, motivation reset. How do you get back on track when you feel demotivated? Looking forward to hearing about your insights on this one for sure. All right. Inspiration from within. What's something within yourself that you're proud of? How does it inspire you? All right, we did it. Nice work, party people. Let me get this banner out of the way before I forget about it. There we go. Awesome. All right, so let me know how everyone did. I feel pretty good about that one. Definitely feel like I'm in touch with some inspiration. I also had a few themes come up, and I'm curious if these things came up for everybody as well. So if you're new, typically what we do at the end of the prompts is we just commune. So take a look at what you've written, think about it, and if there are any insights that you'd like to share with the tribe, then please do. And of course, you never have to. You never have to share what you've written. But it's one of the cool things about us all getting together and trying to create a little bit of awareness and intention is that we emerge with these insights that can really benefit us all. So to kind of kick it off for us, because I know it takes some time to type everything. Let's see. So I was thinking about one of the things that was kind of coming up for me was the difference between motivation and inspiration. And I know we had a few of the prompts in here, kind of muddy the waters a little bit with that. And in my opinion, I think inspiration is where it's at as opposed to motivation. I mean, I know, I mean, if you're anything like me, I do love a good pep rally kind of rah rah situation where you get a motivational speaker or something like that. But what happens when your motivation doesn't show up? Really, I think it's inspiration that will drive you. And the other thing that I was thinking about, as at least as far as motivation goes, is that discipline is is by far more powerful than motivation, and that's something that I think that you can cultivate. Whereas drumming up motivation and inspiration can be tough sometimes. So I was just thinking about that quite a bit, and one of the things, at least on the last prompt, in terms of like what you're proud of yourself for, something within you, is I'm really proud of my own self-discipline, and I wrote something down here, and it felt true, it felt right, which was just that seeing myself show up for myself is the ultimate act of self-love, or I guess showing up for yourself, I think, is the ultimate act of self-love, because it's not always easy. Obviously there's not millions of dollars being made here at Journal Party, but I show up every day because and this is another thing that came up, was that you have to get in touch with your why and why you do this. And I think for me, this has been like a journey of liberation from a lot of the constructs that we've just built collectively as a society, right? There's, a lot of us are, kind of idolizing money and wealth, and all that stuff is really great and fun. But, it can leave you feeling pretty empty and unfulfilled if that's all you're chasing. And I think that was the other thing that I was kind of getting into in some of these prompts, was just that, when you can kind of tap into higher ideals and get in touch with those higher ideals, then that's when some magic really happens, at least for me. And actually, one of the things that I had highlighted here, I'm curious to hear about it. I'm curious to hear what your daily sparks are. I mean, obviously, a lot of us journal and things like that. The stuff that I had written down, as far as like what inspires me on the daily, I've been really good about meditating lately, and I wish I could say I was more consistent with that. I mean, I do have a pretty good streak going with that, but the type of meditation that I learned, you're supposed to do it 2 times a day, and I for a while I was just doing it in the mornings, which is awesome. It still totally works, but I've been doing it twice a day, and I feel like my creativity has really benefited from that. A lot of inspiration just kind of comes out of the void, I think. And so, prayer, meditation, just these things where, not only are you aspiring to your higher ideals, but the other thing was just taking a step back. And that's something that's always been pretty difficult for me, or traditionally has been pretty difficult for me. I would say that without I've been better about this lately, a lot better about this lately, because I put a lot of awareness on it. But I do tend to be a workaholic and kind of burn the candle at both ends. And trying to force an outcome to happen is rarely good. And I would say that it's in the void. It's when I leave. It's when I go for a walk, or I meditate, or I stop, put the pen down and do some prayer, or even in morning pages. That's an amazing practice if you guys aren't familiar. Just writing 3 pages stream of consciousness in the morning. You can kind of disconnect from a lot of the things that are just like floating around, these superficial things. And I think, when you strip all of that away, you're left with those higher ideals. And I think when you're actually face to face with those higher ideals, it's impossible not to be inspired and not to, have a wellspring of creativity flow out of you. So those have been some things that, I guess have been working for me. And so I'm curious to hear, a little bit about your daily spark as well. I see you guys are commenting here, so let me take a step back here. Okay, welcome, Stephanie. Glad you got to join us there. Darlene says, this might sound strange to some, but I'm motivated by the last thing I did well or not so well, and I always try to outdo myself. That's cool. I hope I can articulate this correctly, but I there was a thought presented to me some time ago that I think is powerful, like where it's not always useful to it's not always useful to be in a competitive state of mind, and which can be tough for a lot of people because a lot of people are really competitive, myself included. But I think when you're I don't want to say competing against yourself because that kind of like goes against what I just said, but like when your focus is like actually, improving upon results that you control, things that you're doing, as opposed to like beating someone else, I think some good things come out of that. So plus one on that, darling, for sure. Deidre says, this was a good set. Just a reminder that I need to make time to reset and better understand my why. Yeah, for sure. It looks, yeah, you probably typed that even before I had said that. But yeah, a huge theme that comes up for me. Just, getting in touch with why you're doing anything in the first place is, it's mandatory, I think. Otherwise, you're just going to come up against a ton of friction and resistance to actually, taking any action, because effort and action are hard. You're gonna resist it. Whereas, if there's that higher ideal that you're aspiring to, I think that kind of cuts through the noise. Elizabeth said, for 3, I put journaling energizes me when I feel stuck because it allows me to talk to myself. So very on topic. Yeah, I mean, obviously I love journaling. And the cool thing about journaling is just there's so many different ways to do it, and there's no rules about it. And I love that because I think that just that act and that approach it's just inherently creative. And sometimes when you're stuck in a way of doing things, like maybe you're doing some work that's kind of mundane or something like that, it's really easy to kind of get yourself on autopilot, and you get sucked out of the awareness of the present moment. And sure, like there's something to be said about autopilot. I mean, I've definitely been shocked sometimes. You ever get in the car and like then suddenly like you're conscious again, but you're at your location, you're like, was I driving? Like, was I paying attention and doing all these things? So like your mind will do things on autopilot, and take care of you and stuff like that. But that's not, I don't think that's really where creativity and that kind of creative magic happens. And so I think the cool thing about journaling is just that, like, even though you might be thinking about the past, or you might be projecting an ideal outcome into the future, the cool thing is like you're still in that moment putting pen to paper, and there's just that moment where as the ink is coming out, you're creating something. And I think just getting those creative reps in is also super important. I mean, who was it earlier here? Surreycat was saying something. Motivation is something you renew daily. When I'm demotivated, I take one tiny little kitten paw size step. If your brain thinks it's not enough, it's perfect. And then one step multiplied by 1,000 means huge progress. I totally agree with that. And I think like that's the other thing. It's probably like coupled with the idea of the self-discipline thing that we've been talking about is also just consistency. Because look, you don't know when the muse is going to show up, but if you show up consistently, eventually the muse shows up. And so yeah, I mean, I keep saying magic here, but it does feel like magic when that happens. So yeah, I thought that was cool share. Let's see what we got here. I love dreaming about the future. I think that was the big motivator for me. Yeah, I'm a huge dreamer as well. The thing that was kind of interesting for me is I realized, I realized how much my dreams have changed, and I guess that's normal. As you go through life, and your goals change, your ideals change, you change. And I was just thinking to myself, like, man, because I do a lot of writing about the future and my dreams and stuff like that, and it just dawned on me how much that they've changed over time. I think I just used to like really want to be famous or something like that. I mean, fortunately, I was able to tap into, other reasons why I do the things that I do, the creative things particularly. But, I think when I landed in Los Angeles, like I just wanted like recognition, right? And it's kind of a weird thing. And like after you chase like a lower ideal like that for so long, you you get just beat over the head, especially out here in Hollywood. Another story for a lot of other stories for other days. But anyway, now I think my dream of the future, as I was kind of writing it out, is like, I mean, I just want to be surrounded by beauty, and I want peace, but I also want to be able to like go have adventures and have excitement. And, there's some balance in there, but obviously that mix is going to be a little bit different for everyone. But like now I think the idea of like being famous would be the worst, man. Well, who's that gal, Chapel Roan? Right? Great musician, great artist, up and coming. But she's totally freaking out about, this newfound success that she's had. I mean, I know we're on a little bit of a tangent here, but yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, be careful what you wish for, because like the reality of these situations is often a little bit different than we imagined. And I'll bet now she's probably just wishing she could have a little bit of peace herself. But I won't project my desires onto her life. It's certainly a lot different than mine. Mary Kay, the most important ability in life is the ability to show up. Moneyball. All right. I don't know that I ever saw that one. I heard it was good, but I'm wondering if, like, what? It's funny. Like, we're talking a lot about creativity and these things coming up, inspiration and stuff like that. The other thing that, I mean, especially like as we get more and more connected with tech and I share and interface with people, it's just that, like, I'm not sure I've ever had an original thought in my life. I'm like, am I just this amalgamation of like every self-help book I've ever read? Maybe, but I'm having fun. So I guess, as long as the experience is there, and yeah, I am showing up for myself, and of course I'm showing up for all of you guys. So yeah, I appreciate when you do as well. Darlene, one of the strangest places that I've been inspired was here at the journal party. I'm always surprised at what I leave with. That's great. That's awesome to hear. Really, that inspires me. I had a lot of trouble with that one. I'm hoping I get a good answer. I was like, man, where's a weird place? I feel like I feel like I only dwell in weird places, so everything just seems kind of normal to me when it inspires me, even if it's like kind of off the wall. But yeah, we'll see if I come up with anything else for that one. Deidre, I need to be more intentional about meditating. My why has changed, and I had not thought about it until recently. Yeah. Well, intentional, like I guess with a lot of things like meditation, it's just like showing up. Like it's still crazy because it's like one of the most enjoyable things for me now, one of the most peaceful activities that I do. But like just getting myself to do it is easier said than done. But I will say the rewards are definitely there. But yeah, I would encourage you to get on that. Maybe we'll have like a little group meditation thing. That could be a good idea. I got to be careful because I come up with ideas on these things, and then I hope I'm not over promising, but it's a little difficult to manage a lot of these things. Fortunately, I got a really great assistant who's working with us lately. So you might have noticed that the group comments have been a little bit more active. Our assistant Nolene is just on it in the group, and she's the one who's putting all those great prompts out for everybody and interacting with y'all. So don't be shy. Show some love to Nolene in the group, because she's certainly been making my life a lot easier and a lot more fun to do all this stuff when I'm not just swimming and drowning in work. Let's see. All right, Surrey Cat had to leave. Well, she missed. Always a great addition to the party. Kathy Pooh says, moments of magic. Mom, being in labor with my 4 children is when I felt most alive. Talk about a weird place to be inspired, right? Although I don't know that was inspiration. Although, how could you not be inspired by having a kid? Anyway, I'm not to jump all over your comment here. All different and complex, but definitely worth it. That's good to hear. I'm a fence sitter myself. My fiance and I are frequently debating whether or not we want to have children, but we're getting married in March, so one thing at a time, right? Mystery Cat. Motivation is something you renew daily. When I'm demotivated, I take one. Oh, well, we got that one. That was from earlier. Awesome. Kathy Poo. Unexpected inspiration. The most unusual place I found inspiration. Oops, we lost our music here. Unexpected inspiration. The most unusual place I found inspiration was at a doctor's office with my forever baby. The colors, textures, and activities that were set up to make the people with disabilities feel at ease. That's interesting. Yeah, I hate going to the doctor, so that would be very surprising to me if I got inspired there. It's like going to the dentist and feeling inspiration. But I have been inspired to take better care of my teeth, but I don't think that inspiration was like the normal kind. I think it was the kind where it was like, you better do this or we're gonna have some problems. Stephanie, when I feel demotivated, I go back to the basics of things I enjoy doing to reset my soul. I read, journal, paint, that's a good one, or do some form of self care, pampering, connecting to my inner creative. Tonight made me realize there are some things I want to focus on completing. Awesome. Well, let us know how we can support you in any of that. And awesome share. I'm glad you made it to the party tonight. Darlene says, through this party, I realized I needed to go back to basic where I started when I first retired. Cool. Yeah. I mean, sometimes getting, going back to the beginning, back to the drawing board, not a bad idea. Also, I mean, the thing kind of came up for me a lot was just like, not that you need to like totally redo everything, but just taking a step back, taking a walk, doing something else for a minute is often enough for me to ignite. Daily Spark. Beauty of the city versus beauty of nature. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, I was saying at the top of this thing, I was super inspired by the beauty of the city of Chicago. Just amazing, amazing. And, sometimes when I walk around one of these like big cities too, the other thing I think is like, well, thank goodness there are people who are smarter than me who can figure stuff like that out, like figure out the engineering and the architecture and all that stuff. I mean, I guess we're all blessed with different gifts, but man, I just can't even imagine like these just megaliths, these metropolis of a city. It's just it's amazing what human beings can do. And so, I mean, I think that's kind of like the magic of the city. Whereas beauty of nature is just like, I should just look at the magic of just nature, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, right? Like just the fact that this all exists and that we're a part of it, super inspiring. So, yeah, I mean, I would say, there's probably sometimes the inspiration of the city is better for some things, and nature the other. Often I find myself needing to unplug, but I will say that being in the city has got me working on fire this week. Lost our light here. Yeah. Anyway, the beauty of the city really inspired me to get a lot of really cool projects moving this week. So feeling a little momentum there. It feels good. Tasha says, I have close friends that energize me when I feel stuck. I have a tendency to ruminate in negative thoughts when I have a really bad day. They help me remember what my purpose is. With prayer and meditation, I'm also able to take a step back and observe the issue and situation and proceed. I also look at pictures of my nieces and nephew because they motivate me to keep going and not stay stuck on the sidelines. It's really nice. Yeah, I mean, the loved ones in our lives are also just so inspirational as well. I mean, if it weren't for my fiance, this whole thing would not exist. Thank goodness she's encouraged me to take some of these crazy risks and build this thing, because I know that can be a rare quality in your partner, someone who's going to encourage you to do things that don't necessarily make the most money, but make you feel good. She's been instrumental in that, and so we have girl Alex to thank for Journal Party for sure, for at least the inspiration aspect of it. All right, so we got to 7. I know there's some more of these comments here, but I did mention that we were going to do a raffle this evening. So if you stuck around, you are eligible to win Something. And what I'm thinking, let me share my screen here if I can. Where am I? There we go. All right, so I'm in the journal party shop here, and you'll notice we just got a ton of new pens in, and so I'm thinking we can give away. Um, let's do two. We'll do two raffles today. So the way it'll work is I will. Well, I'll do the raffle, and then you get to pick which one you want. So we've got the Be Bold one here. Actually, if we do the pick thing, it's going to take us forever here, and we're never going to get off of this thing. So we'll do one where we get the Be Bold, and then I think we'll do one that's we'll give away. Let's see what else we got. How about we do the Dreamer and the Goals? Does that sound good? Awesome. Let's do that because I feel like that's kind of in line with what we're talking about this evening. Dreams and goals and stuff like that all requires a healthy dose of inspiration. Hopefully, these things have some funny sayings on them and stuff like that. Or I guess these aren't necessarily so funny, just as so much as just sayings that go along with the theme or whatever. Anyway, I'm yapping, and we need to get the raffle going so everyone can have a nice evening, and the winners can collect their stuff. So here's the raffle. All commenters are eligible. It doesn't matter how many times you commented. It's just gonna pick somebody at random. So let's do it. Here it goes. The winner of the Dreamer Jotter Gel Pen set of 3, Stephanie Lucas. I hope I'm saying this Crichton. So let's see. She's on Facebook. Let me write that down so I can remember to get your details, and I can send those off to you. So congratulations! Yay! Yay is right. All right, congratulations, Stephanie. Let me get our tunage going on here again. One moment. Okay, congratulations. Great. All right, so Stephanie Lucas. Okay, cool. So I'll send you a DM, and or you can send me one if you see me in the Facebook group, and let me know. Let me know where to send these things. And congratulations! I think this is your first time. That's awesome. All right, so let's do one more, and this one is going to be for the. How do I get rid of this? There we go. Okay, this one's going to be for the Goals Jotter Pen set. So. Write this down for the goals. All right, we ready? Here comes the last raffle of the evening, and then we'll all go to bed. And drum roll, our winner is Ceci. See, I always forget how to say it. Ceci Gancedo. I hope I'm saying that right. You can feel free to correct me, but Ceci. Are you still here? Still got her here? If not, we'll get in touch. Okay, so Stephanie was your second party. Well, pretty good second party. I don't know if we did a raffle on the last one. All right. Well, so Cece, congratulations. Stephanie, congratulations. All right, you guys are both on Facebook, so I will follow up with everybody, and we'll get your contact information, and we'll send you off these fancy schmancy pens that we got in the store. And of course, if you're feeling like supporting Journal Party, we got all sorts of really great new merchandise in here. A ton of washi tape we just got in, a bunch of new stickers and stuff like that. So check it out. And then actually, before we go, well, all right, actually you can see it. I finally got the journals that I designed. See the Journal Party logo on there. Finally got them in. They're not listed on the shop yet. I'm going to try to get them up there tomorrow, but next week I think we'll give out some journals. Sound good? All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this very inspiring edition of Journal Party Live. I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and couldn't do this. It wouldn't be a party without you. wouldn't be a party without the guests. So really appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, rest of your week, and as always,